So, Pomoly Yarn Plus, I believe it is. First impressions, I've been using it about 4 days, nearly 5 days in the Scottish Highlands. It's taking snow, sleet, freezing rain. We haven't had no rain yet, and it's done wonders. It's been brilliant, and temperatures have been at a guess. I mean, it was -2 at 10:30 in the morning, so I'm guessing it was during the early hours, like 3-4 in the morning, probably -4, -5. Maybe I'm being good, maybe it was lower. Impressions are brilliant, absolutely good tent. I've used the side skirt just to put stones all around, not because I was worried about winds, but because I was worried about snow. But they were predicting snow, and you never know how much snow you're going to get, and I didn't want it being blown under. I used my own ground sheet off a former hot tent, and that's worked perfectly. The hoods work brilliant. Sometimes you can unclip these easy clip hooks and just open one of the areas. You know what I mean? It's a divided vent. There you go, you can see it there. So you can unhook it and hook it back like so. So easy. Just undo it, undo that one, and you can open a vent. You can open as many as you like. Sorry, I don't know if you got that. Zips. I'm a bit iffy on the zips. They're not YKK, they're SBS. So far they've been working, but I would have liked YKK. That's me being picky. Tie outs, I'm still a bit. I would probably change the cord on these. I don't like the cord, and I don't like. I mean, I do the same system, but I don't know why people like. Some people like these. I don't like them. To me, no. The hood here for the vent needs Velcro. I'm not going to open it up because I've pinned it down with sticks, but there's no Velcro, no way of closing the hood. So if you get, the weather changes in Scotland, terrible. One day the wind's blowing that way, the next day it's blowing that way. You can't move the tent around just to avoid wind. So if that hood's open and you've got driving rain coming at an angle, you're going to get blown in. And there's no way of closing it. I can't find it anyway. Maybe I've missed something. I was looking for Velcro strip, clips or anything, nothing. So I'm going to add my own so I can buckle that down and open it up when I want to. You know what I mean? You can get enough venting from the top and also leaving a gap in the door. You don't really. I think that's probably a health and safety thing. When they made the tent, they had to put one in because it's a hot tent. So if anyone sued them or something like that, they didn't have a vent in the tent. But it hasn't been thought out good. It's great in the summer probably. But the other thing, they put mesh inside the hood. And I don't understand that because to stop insects, but that's got no mesh. The door's got no mesh, is it? You know what I mean? So insects will get in, so why put mesh there? I do not understand that, but that's beside me. The pole's good. It feels thin, but it's solid, I think. I like the setup. It's really quick setup once you've done it. Canvas looks good. Some of the seams, I've heard people mention it before, when they're stitching in the meat inside, they're not meeting these seams here. They're being stitched. But hey, that's being picky, isn't it? It's good. I don't know what the weight is. I will put it on the screen. It's a lot to carry. But there's me and 3 dogs. You could easily get 3 people in there and camped out with the hot tent. Easy. Nice and cosy. But for me, it's been brilliant because I've got tons of space, tons of gear in there. I mean, I was initially going to set out a tarp from the door. So, you have a tarp out with a pole, so you have some covering, but I didn't need it because the weather's so cold. Whatever weather's coming, it's not being drawn in, like rain and slush and all that. So I don't need the cover. So I've used the tarp for another reason. But do I like the tent? Yes. What is it like in heavy rain? Does it leak? That's the only thing I don't know. I will probably change these lines to something like yellow, like Dyneema, and have line locks on them. I think that'll work much better. I don't know why they're gone snazzy with these things. I think a line lock will work brilliant with this tent. It's worked with others. Hood's got to be sorted now. And zip, sadly, it's not a YKK. I made the jack smaller. I put another one over. So you get a normal jack, but the gap, the hole for my pipe was too big. So you can see, I've just Velcroed, got another Velcro heat patch from Amazon, and I've just put it over the top of that one. And it's worked brilliant. And that gets burned to where I was singed. I don't care, I can just change. I think they'll cost about £7-8. Give it a few months, I can get another one, you know what I mean, no problem. I had a problem with the vent at the top. I might change that. That's nothing to do with the tent, that's my stove. And it was blocking in the freezing sleet and all that, and I think it was the wet wood as well combined with the temperatures, and it was blocking the vents, and I was getting smoke, and all of a sudden I noticed drips coming down, and it was the dampness. So I had to clear that, and then the fire was okay, but that's nothing to do with the tent, so, you know, avoid that. That's me and my stove, and something I might have to modify or change. But yeah, beautiful, really, really beautiful tent. Plenty of room inside. I'll show you inside. I mean, all my gear's in here, and you got the dogs. But look, I've even got a chair in here. Don't know if I can give you an angle. Got the cot at the back, 3 dogs, and all my gear, plenty of wood, lovely stove. You know what I mean? You could easily put all your gear right to the rim, so it's not near the stove. You could get 1 there, 2 there, 3. You could, even if they were going sideways, you could easily get 3 people in there. Be nice and cosy. Brilliant in the winter. Yeah, these zips are the only thing. But I wish there was a double zip as well, so one that goes down and one at the top, so you could open one at the top and give you some vent in here, you know what I mean? Then you wouldn't need that vent there. I'd probably stitch that vent up then. I might do it anyway. I haven't decided what I'm doing on that. I might either add Velcro or stitch it up. I don't need it. You get enough. I've not used that at all. I've got a carbon monoxide monitor in there. I've been venting through the door, leaving a gap in the door. In the early days, I was leaving one of the flaps open, but it was getting too cold, and we were getting kind of sleet and freezing rain, so I didn't want to get them driven in tent. But for me, the vent is useless. I'll be honest. You know what I mean? I'm sure other people argue and say it's a great idea, but not for me. And as I say, the lines, I'd use the same system. I'd have linked them, but I'll put line locks in. I think they hold better. These are not, they're giving tension, but you know what I mean? I don't know how good they'll be. I also think this line will fray eventually. It's very basic line. It doesn't look, I might be wrong again, but, and some of the knots, some are not too bad, some are a bit iffy, but that's when they were manufacturing, probably speed. As I said before, they give you pegs, but they don't give you enough. They give you enough pegs for obviously the corners, but you have mid points in here. There's a mid elasticated point in there to tension it, and you don't have enough pegs for them, so I don't understand the point of that. They give you 2 for the door, because you have 1 for this side and 1 when you peg down the door, but I don't do that. I just leave the door loose. That's good enough, unless you're in strong winds, then you peg it down. But so yeah, you don't have enough pegs for the centre points where the elastics are. So thankfully I brought some pegs, but I mean, in the wooded area here I could easily carve some, so it wouldn't be a problem. But I don't understand that bit. You know what I mean? Why not give you enough pegs? Weird. But as I say, if I was giving it marks out of 10, so 10 is the best tent, you know, you could get. I'm trying to think. The Fairhaven Abisco shape, I think it was a really 10 out of 10 tent. But it wasn't for the higher areas, I believe. You know what I mean? I think geodesics are for the higher areas. But that was a 10. I'd give this, I'll give it an 8. It could be improved. As I say, the vent zip and give me extra pegs, please. But apart from that, and as I say, I haven't tested in rain, so you know what I mean. In heavy rain, if it leaks, then I'm sorry, you lose a lot of points. I used to use Robin's Fairbanks, which had a kind of side compartment. That tent was a brilliant tent. I would give that probably a 9.5. That was a brilliant tent because it had YKK zips, I believe. The lines were better tie-outs. Didn't like the vent on the top because it was the old-fashioned Rovens and had a kind of similar like this, but their system was wrong. They had lines out, and it was just stupid. That's why it loses a little bit of point. But the fabric seemed to be a bit better as well. But that's me being picky. But yeah, give this a 8 out of 10. I certainly will try other Pomoly tents in the future. I'll probably use this for a while and then stitch that vent and I'll probably put Velcro on it, so if I do sell it, you know what I mean, I'll explain why I've done it. But yeah, I'll definitely try other Pomoly tents, not a problem. So I've no issue with that at all. So yeah, I'd recommend it, but as I say, I haven't tested in heavy rain, so I'm not going to give you a full review as such. This is the initial impressions and how I feel. See how it wears, you know what I mean? But yeah, pretty happy with it. I think it's worth its money, put it like that. And if you can get it on sale, I got it on a special, you know what I mean? If you can get something like that, then you're definitely getting your money's worth, you know what I mean? Even if you use it for a couple of years. Because I've been out, 5 days, and it's been worked wonders in some really poor conditions with freezing temps and everything. Nothing froze, zips all work fine. I just wish, as I say, they were YKK. The YKK seem to be smoother zips and they seem to be sturdier. I don't know how long these zips would last. But it's a great setup. But I think the vent, as I say, has just been put for health and safety reasons, because I don't see, if you don't have a way of closing it and you're going to have bad weather and it's quite a big hood, then, you know what I mean? No, not for me. But yeah, nice tent. Enjoyed it. Certainly will use it many times in the future, as long as it lasts. So that's my initial review. I'll let you know how it goes over the years, or hopefully it will be years. So hope that helps for anyone that's interested in the Pomoly Yarn Plus. Just about to dismantle the tent as such. This is that vent I was closing. Look, there is it's just a stiffened hood. There is nothing in there on both sides. So imagine the rain is blowing at an angle, and trust me, it does in Scotland. And look, even from here, you can see how open it is. Look, that's a scoop, isn't it, for rain and snow, spindrift. So you can see why I kept it closed. Plus, in the freezing temperatures, you're going to get absolutely frozen there. So now you can see what I was complaining about the hood or the vent, whatever you like to call it. I think it's pretty useless, but I'm guessing they put it in for health and safety aspects when they produced the tent. Right, I'm dismantling.